Hey friends, today's dish we have some curry goat with some delicious rice and peas. So stay tuned if you're interested in this dish, and don't forget guys, enjoy. So here I have my goat meat, and this is just this is about a pound of goat meat, and I already washed my meat in a little bit of lemon juice. So what I'm going to do now is season my meat and get ready to leave it for 30 minutes to an hour in the fridge to marinate. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt onto this. You want to make sure you add a generous amount but not too much salt. And then I'm just going to go ahead and mix this in nicely. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add some white ground pepper. You can use black pepper too, but black pepper doesn't agree with everybody in my family, so I'm going to be using white ground pepper. And I'm just going to mix this into my meat. And next, I'm going to go ahead and add my curry. You can use turmeric if you're not a curry fan, because not everybody likes curry, and turmeric is healthier. So I'm using some Jamaican curry, and I'm just going to massage that in. You want to make sure you add a good amount of curry to this. Alright, so here are a few of my ingredients that I'm using, and here I have some scallion, also known as green onions. I have some fresh thyme, some garlic that are finely chopped, some ginger, and some scotch bonnet peppers, some onions that are chopped, and some sweet pepper of my choice. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and add our ginger to our dish, and what the ginger does is, curry doesn't always agree with everyone's stomach, so the ginger helps to cut that so that you don't end up going to the washroom later. We're going to add our garlic now. We're going to add our scotch bonnet pepper, and then we're going to add our onions. And then you're going to save the rest for later. Right now, this is just the marinade that is going to sit in for the hour. And then you're just going to massage this in right into your goat meat. And then what you want to do after is cover this, place this in your fridge for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then we're going to go from there. Alright, so in my saucepan, I'm just going to go ahead and add some oil and let that heat a little bit. And then what you want to do now is just remove the seasoning off of your goat meat. And I'm just going to brown my meat a little bit, and then you just want to drop that into the oil. And then you just want to continue to do this, so remove your seasoning. We're going to use the seasoning in a little bit. But right now we're just trying to brown our meat a bit. Alright, so I'm just going to continue to just turn these. And with my stove on medium-low heat, I'm just going to let my goat just catch a little bit of brown coloring. Alright, so after my goat's gotten a chance to get a little bit of coloring, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 cup of water to this. And then I'm going to let this cook for about 55 minutes to about a full hour. And then you want to continue to check this and add water if your water is running out. And then we'll come back and check this within an hour and see how it's doing. Alright, so it's been about approximately 1 hour since my curry goat has been cooking. And now we can go ahead and add the rest of our seasoning. So I'm adding the onions that I seasoned this up with. I'm adding my sweet peppers, my spring onions or scallions, and another piece of onions. And then I'm going to add some fresh thyme to that. Alright, now we're going to add 1 fresh scotch bonnet pepper to this. Please remember to take this out after a certain time, because it can burst in your pot and then you'll just have very spicy curry goat. And I'm going to go ahead and add 1 cup of water. Alright, so I'm going to add a bit more curry powder to this. You want to go ahead and make sure you salt your pot according to your taste. So you want to make sure it has enough salt, but then again you don't want to put too much, you don't want to put too little. And then we're just going to mix that in. So I'm going to cover this and I'm going to let this cook for about 10 minutes on its own, and then we're going to come back and we're going to add some diced potato cubes. Alright, so we're going to check to see how our curry goat's doing now, and that is looking really good. Water is drying down nicely. So now we're going to go ahead and add some potato cubes to this, and you can cut these up in whatever size or shape you want. And as you can see, my pepper has deflated a bit, but the second I close my pot, it will inflate again. So this is looking really good right now. So I'm just going to let this cook down for another 15 to 20 minutes. I'll probably take this out in another 10 minutes or so. Alright, for some simple delicious rice and peas now, I have some white rice here that I've washed, and I'm just going to go ahead and add a bit of butter. Your salt will depend on how big of a pot of rice you're cooking, so just taste. It should have a slightly salty taste to it. Alright, I'm adding 1 can of red kidney beans. If you're using the one from scratch in the bag, the hard one, you might want to let it soak overnight and then it'll be soft, and then boil it before you add your rice. Alright, so I'm adding a half can of coconut milk. I'm adding some fresh wash thyme to this. I'm adding 3 tablespoons of sugar. This is what's going to give it that delicious taste, that slightly sweet taste. Believe me, it's delicious. Don't be intimidated by it. Sometimes you might need 4. It depends on how many people you're making it for. I'm going to mix this in. Alright, so mine end up being 4 tablespoons of sugar. And then I have here is a freshly washed Scotch bonnet pepper, and I'm going to drop this in there. Be sure to take this out after a little bit of time, and then remember to take out your thyme leaf once your rice and peas is done. And I'm just going to cover this and let this cook down to a boil, and then turn it down once it's boiling and let it simmer. So after that, now your goat will be all done and ready to serve with your rice and peas. Enjoy! Alright friends, so that is the end of the finished dish. Be sure to try it out if you're interested. So I'll see you guys for the next dish. Thanks for watching. Bye!